The primary purpose of your church website is to be a welcome mat for the community. And that's why your website needs to have a special dedicated page for guests with a big prominent link on the home page. Hi, it's Larry Witzel with another ministry insight from Sermon View. We've got some great tips for church marketing, innovation, and leadership getting released in the coming months, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. 3 years ago, my daughter and I visited a college in Tennessee. At the time, she was a high school student and a worship leader at our church, so we like to get out and visit other churches whenever we can and experience other church cultures. On this trip, we were there all weekend, so we decided that I would pick the church to attend on Saturday, and then she would pick a church to attend on Sunday morning as well. I wanted to experience worship at a black church, while my daughter wanted to go someplace with a good contemporary worship band. So, what's the first thing we did? Well, we searched on Google, of course. And as we were searching online, I had this aha moment. We've had a church home for many years, and I haven't gone searching for a church to visit in a really long time. I had one shot to find the right church, to find the experience that I wanted. And the primary means that I had to find it was Google searches leading to church websites and social media. As I looked at various church websites, I found that very few of them were actually communicating with me as a potential guest. I needed to know the basics, of course, like the location and the time of the service. But I also needed more than that. I was looking for a specific type of worship experience, and I had one shot. So I wanted to see a photo of the worship service, or better yet, an archive of the live stream. I wanted to know how to dress to fit in with the culture of the church. So I wanted to see people in the congregation in addition to the worship team. Now, I'm comfortable in church, but I have to admit, it's really intimidating walking through the doors of a new church for the first time. And I was anxious walking up to the front door of the church. I'd never been there before. I didn't know anyone, and I hoped I was dressed appropriately. It was really uncomfortable. So getting to know that church a little better through their website helped me be more confident walking through those doors. And then when the greeters treated us like long-lost friends, well, I felt better. I enjoyed the service very much. We ended up visiting 3 churches that weekend, and each one had a website that clearly communicated the church culture through the design, content, and visuals of the website. Those websites were the primary way that we got to know churches in the area. See, humans are uncomfortable with uncertainty. When people think about walking through the doors of a strange church filled with people that they don't know, this can cause anxiety. And today, social anxiety is one of the chronic mental health challenges of this age. So we need to do whatever we can to lower the anxiety of our guests. And one thing that people do to reduce their uncertainty is to research things online. They'll look at the church website and the church's social media posts. So the primary purpose of your church website is to reduce your guests' uncertainty. The pictures on the website should show people in the church environment, allowing the guests to pick up visual cues about the culture. What are they wearing? How are they interacting? The language on the site should reflect the culture of the church. For example, if you're a conservative church that uses the King James Version in your service, your website should reflect that by using the King James Version on the website. If you're a church with a contemporary worship service, have a picture of the worship band to show the culture. The website should be authentic to the experience guests will have. The primary purpose of your website then is to reduce your guests' uncertainty. They should get a feel from your website of what they can expect to experience when they walk through the doors of your church. Now, the easiest way to do this is to have a page specifically for your guests. They're looking for answers to some basic questions. When do you meet? Where do you meet? How should I dress? What can I expect when I get there? How can I reach someone if I have a question? Look, God created your church for those who are not yet part of it. So your website needs to speak to them first. The primary objective of your church website is to be a welcome mat to the community. It's to reduce the uncertainty of your guests before they ever walk through your door. Communicate who you are to help them decide if your church might be a good fit for their spiritual needs. Then give them a feel for what they can expect to help lower the anxiety of walking through the doors of your church for the first time. If you're a pastor or church leader, you've got one of the hardest roles. There's so much that you could be doing with your time, and it can be exhausting. Plus, too often you're serving some people who would rather criticize than lend a hand. Well, I want to thank you for the work that you do. And remember, it's not your church, it's God's church. And as He works through you, He will be honored and His kingdom will grow.